Shalom. Barak Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors, head apostles, bishops, elders of great millstone. And shalom, true brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing. We have found that number to be delivered. All right, and likewise for you sisters who truly trust and believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Keep believing, keep doing what you're doing. May we all may be found worthy. All right. I'm gonna start with this quick article. Brother Taz War put it up on the post, and what is this? And I thought I'd expound on it a little bit because it rings true, And a lot of people, what the problem is in America, is they only call upon the Lord when they're in need. All right. They don't believe in the Lord. They don't talk about the Lord. They don't think about the Lord, but only when they're in the time of need. For example, when Joe Biden was running for president, not the last time, but the previous administration, people was running around talking about, oh, thank God he won. Thank God he won. Right? Now that Donald Trump was in office, nobody's thanking God anymore. So that's the point I'm trying to get to. This is we call upon God as needed. As needed. Don't speak nothing about the Lord at any other time except in the time of trouble. All right. So little do they know, these statements, these headlines are true. It says Trump posts controversial meme stating he's on a mission from God, featuring all right symbol Pepe the Frog. All right, hold on one second, brothers. Let me get my glasses. All right, Salakia. All right, this is dated May 29th as well. But so he says he's on a mission from God, right? And then the caption here it says he's on a mission from God and nothing can stop what is coming because it's all sanctioned. What we're about to go through and the shit that's going on has already been sanctioned by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? And this is another problem with the people in this world. They don't believe that the Lord has anything to do with what's going on. Okay? And clearly they haven't been told that these things are in the scriptures. The pastors and the priests that they've been frequenting or trusting in has not told them, nor have gone in the gaps and the hedges. All right? They draw these people into these churches, these harlot houses, just to extract money out of their pockets. That's their big sting, man. That's their biggest thing. Pull people in, tell them a couple lines, read a couple heart-soothing scriptures, and then look for the big payout. All right, but as this article stands, Donald Trump is on a mission from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It says President Donald Trump posted a meme on his Truth Social platform that sparked widespread discussion and criticism. It says the image, a black and white depiction of a Trump walking down a dark city street, bore the caption, "He's on a mission from God and nothing can stop what is coming," a phrase co-op from the 1980 comedy classic The Blues Brothers. In the background, subtly but unmistakably, was an image of Pepe the Frog, a cartoon character with a fraudy history tied to internet culture and more recently far-right extremism. The meme watermarked by the Truth Social account Fruit Snacks has reignited debate about Trump's use of provocative imagery and its implications, particularly given Pepe's association with the alternate right and the meme's potential link to a surge of related cryptocurrency. All right, so I'm not going to go too far on that, but you brothers get it. You sisters get it. What the point is. The point being made is that he is on a mission from the Heavenly Father. All right? And all praises due to Yahweh Shai, because everything that this man does brings us one step closer, man. All right? So let's get a couple scriptures. This is Daniel 4:17. It says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High Yahweh Shai ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men." All right? So all that being said, all in all, it's this man's turn. Right? Didn't we not read just now? He give it to whomsoever he will. All right? He gave the power in the chief seat, if you will, to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is going to perform the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You people can't receive it because you don't believe. Right? You people truly don't believe in the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Especially you Israelites out there. You can't get past Esau being, wiped off the face of the earth. You can't get past that. Because you individuals need Esau in place. You need Esau in place so you can feel comfortable. The elder and I was dealing with some cat years ago, young dude, and we was breaking it down that Esau, Edom, who they are today, where they are, what they're doing, so on and so forth, and it all kind of registered in his mind. But then at the last, he said, "Well, who's gonna rule? How are we gonna survive without him being here?" And it just goes to show you, our people have been so saturated with needing to, depend on Esau that they can't see any other way. All right? Can't see any other way. This is Proverbs 21:1. It said, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord." Right? So this meme that we're looking at, when he says he's on a mission from God, it is the absolute truth, man. The Heavenly Father set him up in these last days to do his part to the ushering in of the kingdom. All right? Now it may get crazy, which is going to get crazy, and that's what the meme said. The meme said that people aren't prepared for the things that are coming. That's because everybody's been put to sleep. Everybody's been put to sleep, They've actually tuned out anything that Donald Trump does. They've tuned it out. You see? They're all upset. They're all angry. They're all still in disbelief that, Joe Biden lost, or whoever else was running. They're just in Kamala Harris, which was another extension of Joe Biden, who also was dumb as a bag of bricks. But be that as it may, what we got here? The Lord is going to continue to work through Donald Trump so he can usher in this MOTB, possibly, collapsing of this dollar, whichever comes first. Maybe they come together. Maybe they come, right after one another. However it may be, it's going to go down, man. And we praise Yahweh Shai for this. Because we are the hopeful elect. We're waiting for that new heaven and new earth. We're waiting for the Yahweh Shai to come back to start destroying. We're waiting for it, man. We're hastening for it. And that's the only spirit you should really be in, is hastening that this place goes down. All right, let's continue on. And I'm going to start at, this is our Second Chronicles 35. Let me start at about 19 maybe. Let me see. Yeah, start at 19. And again, this is just, you're going to understand once I read it, what the baseline is. Verse 19, it says, in the 18th year of the reign of Josiah was this Passover kept. After all this, when Josiah had prepared the temple, Necho, the king of Egypt, comes up to fight against Carchemish by Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him. But he sent ambassadors to him, saying, what have I to do with thee, thou king of Judah? I come not against thee this day, but against the house wherewith I have war. For God commanded me to make haste, forbear thee for meddling with God, who is with me, that he destroy thee not. And I'm reading it verbatim, but the point being made here, the king was like, listen, the Lord is with me on this. The Lord set me up to go up against these people. You see? So throughout scriptures and throughout history, the Lord has always been in the midst, doing what he does. Verse 20, and I'm going to read 22 as well. Nevertheless, Josiah would not turn his face from him, but disguise himself that he might fight with him, and hearken not unto the words of Necho from the mouth of Yahushai, and came to fight in the valley of Megiddo. All right. And the archers shot at King Josiah, and the king said unto his servants, have me away, for I am sore wounded. All right. So because he didn't take heed to what the man was telling him, whom the Lord has sent, he ended up getting mortally wounded. All right. And he ended up dying. So that was the gist of that. But the point, I wanted to make, and I think it's crystal clear, that the Lord sets men up. Right? The Lord sets men up. And this is what he did with King Necho, the king of Egypt. The Lord set him up to go out and fight. And when the king of Necho sent his ambassadors, saying, what have I to do with thee, thou king of Judah? I come not against thee this day, but against the house wherewith I have war. For Yahushai commanded me to make haste. All right? So Donald Trump is telling you the same thing. He's basically telling you the same thing. The Lord commanded him to set things up, to get things rolling. All right? You tell that to the average person in the world. Yeah, God set Donald Trump up. They're gonna look at you like you goddamn crazy. They ain't gonna believe it. But you best believe when they was crying out for Joe Biden and he won, what's the first thing they said? Oh, thank God he won. All right? The Heavenly Father just doesn't make himself, absent when the bad comes. People have this understanding that if something bad happens, it's out of the realm of being done by the Heavenly Father. All right, let's continue on. We're going to land back on that as well. Job 2:10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of Yahushai, and shall not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. So again, that balance. All right. Job was telling his wife, yeah, when we receive good, it's of the Heavenly Father. And you don't think when we receive the evil, it's of the Heavenly Father? So the Lord is in control of all angles, man, on both sides. The Lord is truly in control. All right? But when bad things happen, when bad things go on, all of a sudden the Lord has nothing to do with it, according to the masses. And this is pretty much the teachings, man. This is the teachings of this kingdom. Proverbs 11:1. It says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. All right? So in order for a just weight to be performed, you have to have both sides of the pendulum. You got to have good, you got to have evil. You got to have hate, you got to have love. All right? These are the things that the Lord requires. This is life. This is life right here. All right? And this is why it said, but a just weight is his delight. Because it's balanced. So right now, you have the prophets of the Lord on the highways and byways and, preaching this ministry. And on the flip side, you still got scoffers and scorners. All right? So it's a balance. We're all existing at the same time. The Lord ain't gonna have us out there and then 10 years later send the scoffers out there. Nah, this thing has been perfectly in synchronized order by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Everything makes sense when the Spirit of the Lord gives you understanding. It all makes sense. Okay? It all makes sense. But to sum it all up, he's on a mission from God, as he says. And this is true. Because we also believe and understand that, these spirits that these presidents have had are spirits of the old time. All right? Just like when the scriptures say the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. It's no different for these so-called kings of the earth in this time period. It's no different. The spirits of the kings are subject to the spirits of the kings. They're just known as presidents in this day and age. All right? So don't think for 1 minute because he's Donald Trump, he had his television show, he's been walking around grabbing girls by the PUSSY, as he stated. Don't think for 1 minute this man ain't set up. Or this man is not somebody of importance through the Spirit. Because he is. All right? So Lord willing, I'm going to see y'all brothers in another one. I'm going to say shalom from now.